Yep. Yeah, you got it. And it looks to me like the other one never went out. 8 viewers live.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you
Well, well, well.
Well, well, well indeed. Welcome.
Good evening, John.
Welcome to this, the long-awaited Friday night. It's John and Ben bringing you All In.
Fuck, he's loud on that mic, isn't he?
Do you want me to turn it down?
Nah, you're all right. It's just when you shout, boy. It's just when you shout.
It's because it turned off the noise gate.
He did. He turned off the noise gate. Well, good evening, John.
And good evening, Ben. How are you?
Shalini said intro too long. Well, the first
No,
intro was
no.
just the pre-roll, really.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't be asked. I don't remember. We don't use that intro anymore. It was just a one and done, really, wasn't it, John?
Yeah. I just thought I'd harken back to days of yore.
Yeah.
Days of yore. I thought it was quite nice.
Militant Mushroom says intro was cracking.
Yeah. Well, you got to get pumped up for a Friday night.
You know what else is cracking, don't you, John?
Yes.
My picture.
Yes, your new camera's looking very good.
How good does it look?
Looks very good.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep.
Doesn't it?
It sure does. It looks
it's,
sweet.
And do you know what? It costs 50 quid.
Yep. Jesus,
I
nearly
was
spilled
looking
the
around.
beer.
I was looking around the internet, and I saw this camera, and I thought, nah, this can't be real. It can't be real. This is a 2K webcam.
Yeah,
Cost
okay.
50 quid.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
real.
Turn down your excitement levels. It's a webcam. Calm down.
Yeah, look, Juju Crossy says, looking sexy, Ben. I've never seen
Yeah.
Juju Crossy before in the chat, but hi there.
He always looks sexy.
Just pumping my ego. That's all that's going on here.
Well, as long as that's all she's pumping.
Not even 3 minutes into the bloody show. There he goes. Look, there he goes.
Oh, it's quite warm. I'm feeling flushed. I've got a flush coming on.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, I'm feeling crystal clear.
Jesus, would you fucking give it a rest?
No.
Anyway, yeah. I don't know what Shalini's talking about. Never seen anything. Didn't see anything either come or go. Don't know what she's talking about.
Shalini. Don't see any tinsel in here.
No.
No.
Yep. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Tony. Okay.
Oh, and we have turned on ultra low latency. We're pushing the envelope now because we're actually only something like a second behind YouTube.
Oh yeah, we are. Look, I'm looking, and then I look down, and I can then look down, and then I see myself looking down. That's how quick we are. Oh, well, this week's been a shit show, hasn't it, John?
For us, or for the world, or for the UK, or just generally.
All of the above, my friend. All of the above.
Yeah, it pretty much has. But hey, what's new?
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. What is new? We've seen some light in the darkness in the hopes of the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. He is going to try and ban that ticking of clocks, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think that's a good ploy because I hate TikTok with a passion. I always have, and I'm never. I mean, you've tried to get me to go on TikTok a number of times, and I always push back on it. Always.
Yeah, I mean, we technically are on TikTok.
Yeah.
Chasing Dissent is on TikTok. We got 8,000 fucking followers over there.
Yeah, I had it on my phone for what, maybe 3 minutes.
You went, I cannot be dealing with this shit.
I'm not dealing with this. This is
Not
get
this
this
shite,
to
no.
fuck.
Oh, no, get it off me phone, oh I.
So anyway, yeah. And that's quite good because there's been a couple of tweets this week that I've dug into, and it took no time. The Turkish earthquake. First of all, someone posts a 15 tower blocks falling down. That I even had the fucking Chinese in the background. You could hear the guy in Chinese talking. So that was a demolition in China 2 or 3 years ago. 15 tower blocks brought down all at the same time. One of them remained standing right in the middle. And then there was the one from last night, the rocket, it was a rocket from Kazakhstan, right? It was a test-fired rocket in Kazakhstan, and you know how they make that funny shape? Look at this strange shape just before the Turkish earthquake. No. Come on, people, do your diligence. Do a wee bit of diligence, for God's sake. I mean, we can all make mistakes, but don't just grab the first piece of shit that appears on your phone and go, look at that, retweet.
Do you know what?
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, what, Ben? What, Ben?
This is
What?
going to be controversial.
Oh.
This is going to be controversial.
Controversial from you.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm sick to shit of all of these people going, it was Harp!
Oh.
It was Harp!
I don't think there's anything controversial about it, mate. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the Yanks have been playing around with loads and loads of different things for doing loads and loads of different things, right?
Yeah.
Harp looks like a ultra or extra low frequency submarine communication device. That's what it looks like to me, right? Because it's miles and miles of cable all strung out, and you need a huge antenna to do ultra low frequency. And what they do is they pump that out, and it gets to the submarines eventually, because the submarines are the nuclear submarines are always underwater, so you can't speak to them in conventional means. I think that's what Harp's about, right? I could be completely off the mark. It could be weather modification. It could be how to talk to UFOs on Uranus. But that's my view.
Well, do you know what? I can't tell you what Harp is, right? And I can't. But what I can tell you is, it would be absolute nonsensical nonsense for the USA to be causing earthquakes on another NATO member. It's just nonsense.
Well, you say that, but right, and does the USA want Turkey in NATO?
Well, I don't
because
know.
Turkey's been a bit of an arsehole when it comes to NATO, right?
Turkey's, spoiler alert, Turkey's just a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah, okay. But Turkey's doing in my view, a great job of keeping Europe semi-stable, believe it or not, right?
Okay.
Because what Turkey's doing is Turkey's objecting to Finland and Sweden joining NATO under the current circumstances, right? And I think they're also objecting to Ukraine joining NATO under the current circumstances. And I'm with Turkey on this. Now, what makes it even better is all you need to do is basically burn the Quran in Sweden, and Turkey goes, oh no, they can't join, because Turkey's a Muslim country, isn't it?
Well, yeah, technically speaking.
Yeah. So no, we can't have Sweden in NATO, right? So anyway, Turkey, I think, is doing a good job at the moment of keeping NATO under control and keeping Europe semi-stable. That's my view. I'm probably wrong, because I am not an expert on warfare. I am not a political pundit. I merely have my own opinions and an ability to read and disseminate and look through information and come to conclusions, some of which I would say are self-evident and some of which maybe require a little bit of thinking. But, you know, everybody should be able to do that, and nobody should be denied expressing their opinion, which is coming to a bit of a conclusion, isn't it?
I'm addressing the chat because I think you're turned right up over me, because it's being asked if I could turn my volume up. So you have to ask John to do that. He is the man in control.
Right, I'll bring my... Oh, hold on, right. How do I sound? Right, Ben, you give me some level?
I'm giving you some level.
Yeah, you do seem a bit quiet. Right.
Yeah, I'm giving you some level. So, do you want me to give you some more gain on my end?
No, wait a minute. Talk to me.
I'm talking to you. I am talking to you. You are being spoken to.
I'll bring myself down a bit, actually. Right. Okay, now people, how does it sound? This is me
level?
speaking to you.
And can I drown him out if I need to speak over him? Or is he purposely...
You're never going to be able to drown me out, mate. Now, what you have to remember, people, right, is that we have completely different voices. So Ben's register is much higher than mine. So what happens is the bass tends to dominate when I start speaking. Ben has other ways of shutting me up, though, right?
Well, Shalini's still saying that I'm too quiet, and Trudy's saying much better. So we've got conflicting reports in the audience here.
Well, you are maxed out at this end, mate. You're maxed out.
But I can bring myself up here if necessary, just
try
like
it.
that.
Yep.
So is that any different? I've opened up my gain.
So he's opened up his gain a bit. How does he sound now?
I can open it further, but it will start to clip.
Well, hold on. Let me drop my gain 1 level and see if that helps. Right, I've dropped gain 1 level. So how does that sound?
They're all saying a bit better.
5 by 5 now, gent, says Tony.
Do you know what?
Where's what's his name? Who was it?
Everybody's saying better. People are saying better.
Right, okay. Who was the guy last week that kept banging on about the noise, and he was right? Or was it? Yeah, I remember. Because I owe him an apology. In fact, I want him as a sound engineer once we get a studio. Because he could hear when nobody else could.
Well, this is it. I'm sure he will appear. Everybody thinks they're getting old by the looks of it. Oh,
What
the echo.
echo?
Yes, indeed, Trudy. No, the echo from the other day.
Yeah. We don't have an echo today.
No, we don't. Well,
Sean Fennessy. Sean Fennessy, wasn't it?
Sean Fennessy, yeah.
Yeah, Sean Fennessy, come back to us. Anyway, right, where were we? Oh, right, yeah. So what's all this about free speech? Under threat again?
Well, what do you mean under threat again? When is it not under threat?
Oh yeah, okay, but do you hear what the SNP want to do now?
No, what do your crazy government want to do?
Oh no, it's not our crazy government, it's an SNP MP.
What does an SNP MP want to do, John?
So that's our crazy government, right? This is in Westminster. He wants the Home Office to reclassify anti-vaxxers as domestic terrorists.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, not Jesus. He's not involved yet. But
no, but the reason. So do you know what? And I plainly am going to ask this question, and this might fall me foul of some censorship gods, but it's a question I've got to ask. What is an anti-vaxxer? It's
a good question, and I don't think it's something that you can answer. I think what it is.
I think it's something you could answer a year ago.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a label that people use to target people that they don't want to listen to. I think that's what it is. It's nothing more than a label, because as we've gone on and on about this, because we've all had vaccinations. In fact, I would venture to say that 99% of the people in the country have had vaccinations of some kind.
Had some form of vaccination, yeah.
And some of them were sensible, and some of them may not have been. For instance, like the H1N1. Yeah.
Swine flu.
Yeah, the swine flu one that killed no, it didn't. It gave 16 people narcolepsy, didn't it?
Narcolepsy.
Yeah, and then they pulled it. Okay. So yeah, I think it's nothing more than a label that people in positions of the media and government just use to quiet people down and to give an excuse for not listening to their voice. I think it's abhorrent.
I'm leaning towards agreeing with you because, like I say, actually, I think a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, you could have put a definition on it. I do. I think because there were people who would happily call themselves anti-vaxxers.
My God,
right?
Look at his baby blue eyes. Just look into them.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Carry on. You look like a seal. You look like a baby seal ready for the clubbing.
Anyhow, yeah, there were people that would happily label themselves anti-vaxxers. You know, they were basically anti any vaccine. They didn't want any vaccinations. They didn't want any vaccinations for their children. And my personal opinion on people who hold this stance is, I don't care. Right? You do what you want with your body. At the end of the day, maybe there is an argument for not putting those kind of beliefs on your kids if there are things that could. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not for me to decide. But I think that they've taken that label and they've turned it into something to dissuade from dissent. And you know,
Yeah.
you've got dissent. That is what it is. They've taken it and they've said, right, we're going to put this label on people, and this is going to mean person bad. It's the same as the word racist. People, you know, you need to come to terms with the fact that it barely has a meaning anymore because it's been so bastardized, it's been so overused, it's been so pushed that nobody really knows what it means. So many people get labeled a racist that clearly, by the actual definition of the word, are not racists. People are being labeled anti-vaxxers, which by the old definition, definitely nothing of the sort. I've been called it, and I advocate for people going and doing whatever the hell they want with their body. If they want to go and get 700 needles in their arm at once, you go right ahead.
And this was the thing that really disturbed me about the whole thing when it kicked off, was this complete disregard for bodily autonomy. Because I mean, we've fought for many years to get human rights and to get our rights recognised, and you know, and to be able to stand up to challenge people. I mean, one of the tenets of the Nuremberg Convention was that, you know, any medical procedures had to be authorised. You know, they had to be consented to, and then and to have proper consent, you need to have the full and frank information. Yeah. And full and frank doesn't mean you get, you know, these are the top side effects. It means you get everything. Whether you choose to read that or not is entirely up to you. Absolutely. But I would suggest that in this day and age, I think you've got to read the small print.
I agree. You know, I totally agree. When it comes to that, look, I hate the fact that we have to be so careful with our words, but we do, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the idea of informed consent, I don't think anybody's given informed consent on a certain medical procedure at all in the last 3 years.
I would go further. I don't think anyone gets proper information before they're asked to consent by the medical profession.
What, on anything?
Yeah.
Well,
how much information did you get about statins before you were asked?
Oh, they told me nothing.
Okay. How much information do you have on your other drugs?
I just take them, John.
Yeah. So you're not a good advert for bodily autonomy.
Well,
and you're not a good advert for doing your own research when it comes to your personal circumstances. And I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying, right. I think in this day and age, I think we've all got to be a bit more responsible, and we've all got to take a lot more responsibility for our own health and well-being, because nobody else is going to.
Well, he's absolutely right. And I mean, a lot of my medication, I'm on doses and strength of medication that would probably stop your heart if you took one dose.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've been on this for like over a decade. And this is how, I'll give you an example, and I believe I've spoken about this before, but I'm no longer on the Proxen, right? Because it was, I think, 9 years I was on the Proxen before they went, oh, did we give you something for your stomach? Because this is going to wreck your stomach. And then I went, no. And they went, whoops.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's it's really, really difficult, you know. And
so
I think
I take pills for my stomach for life, by the way.
I think the medical profession, I think their heart's in the right place, generally, right? Excuse me. But I think the problem is that they're too quick to prescribe, and they're too quick to treat symptoms rather than look for root cause.
And I mean, I will say this, in places like the United States, as far as I'm aware, they're financially incentivized to prescribe, right?
Yes, well, and I think same thing kind of happens here to a degree, doesn't it? I mean, all those lunches and breakfasts and golf trips and things don't pay for themselves.
Well, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. But going back to my original question, what is an anti-vaxxer? And I think the answer is there is no answer.
No.
Not anymore. It's the same as what is a racist, what is a sexist, what is a transphobe, what is this, what is that. Nobody knows what these things are because they have different meanings to different people. They've been so overused, they've been so bastardized that you hear someone go, oh, that person's an is, and you go, and?
Yeah.
or really? Are they? Are you sure?
Is it not just being, I mean, is the whole thing not just to denigrate someone that doesn't share your point of view?
I would say so.
Yeah, and therefore, does everyone just want to live in an echo chamber? Is that what they really want?
Well, we try and break the idea of an echo chamber, don't we? That's what we try and do here.
We try to.
We try.
I think I broke someone today because
did.
I get called.
What do you get called, John?
I get called far left thinker. And you know why? Why did I get called a far left thinker?
Tell me why.
Well, because in response to Lee Anderson's tweet that the MSN probably won't report the fact that the UK's economy's grown more than any other in Europe, right? Which I'm not quite 100% sure that's correct or not, but in response to that, I said, yeah, that's okay. So we apparently avoided a recession by this much. I says, that's fine. I said, but if you have avoided a recession, it's purely down to to corporations and conglomerations, right? Small business is still getting humped. It's still going to the wall. It's still disappearing right in front of your eyes. And because I said that, I get accused of typical far right thinker, making bad news out of good
Far
news.
left.
Sorry,
left, mate.
typical far left thinker, making bad.
Far left and far right, same thing.
Yeah, I know. Typical far left thinker, making good news out of bad news. Now,
Yeah.
I have responded to that saying, look, I'm not making news in any direction. I'm only saying realistically, that's what I see. I don't see us coming out of recession. I mean, are your fuel bills going down? Are they?
I mean, if they knew what my electricity bill was for the last 2 months, they'd cry.
Yeah, I know.
It's £1,000, people. It's £1,000, and I can't pay it.
But you're in a good position because you've dictated to them what they're going to get, and
Yeah.
they've really basically got to have to take it, haven't they?
Well, they've got no choice because I'm disabled.
Yeah.
And you know,
Now, and that might sound strange, but not many people are in the position that they can actually do that.
no, you're right. You're right. And sometimes there is, I guess, an advantage, right? That I can garner or I can leverage, shall we say?
Yeah. Well, you've got to use what you've got.
Well, exactly. And
As they say, you got to
You know
shag
what?
with the cock you've got.
at the end of the day, I've offered them 50 quid a week, right? £200 a month. That's more than what most energy bills should cost.
It's more than what you were paying before this all this nonsense kicked off. Before all this, and I'm going to say it, before all this profiteering kicked off.
Exactly. And you know what? I went down their throats about that as well. Because I said, I know what you pay wholesale. And I said, so to say that you don't rip me off
Yeah.
and rip everybody else off, I said, don't lie to me.
Yeah.
So Trudy, I'm also under the vulnerability scheme. You're absolutely right. So Trudy says she's under the vulnerability scheme, so they can't cut me off allegedly. They can't cut off your electricity, right? But they can cut off your gas. I'll go a bit deeper. My energy company are trying to force my gas meter on to pay as you go right now.
I thought the courts had said that people shouldn't be doing that.
I've spoken to them just in the last 24 hours
Right.
over this.
I think the courts came out with something about the courts the courts have turned around and said, no, you can't force people to go into prepayment or whatever.
No, I've been told that I will be forced onto it, and there's no choice.
Well,
Smart meter.
yeah, well,
But so they said they can't do it to my electricity
shield it.
because well, yeah.
Build a
They said
fire
they
cage around it.
they
You don't
said
need
they
to
cannot-
touch it.
Nope. Well, yeah, I might do actually, but they said they cannot do it to my electricity because I have adaptations in the home, such as a stair lift that cannot lose power.
Yeah.
So they know they can't do it to me over there. But they've said, well, despite the fact that you're disabled and you have a disabled child, we'll cut your heating off. We'll cut your hot water off. We'll put you in a position where you won't be able to afford it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if they put you on pay as you go, price goes up.
Yeah, it does.
The
Yeah.
price goes
Well,
up.
it's always the same. The people with the poor credit ratings have to pay higher interest. Now, in what you would think would be a fair world, those people should get it cheaper, should you not? But the people with all the money, they get their loans for practically nothing.
Well, this is it. This is you're absolutely
Well, I
right.
tell you what. May I?
You may.
If I may.
I'll sit back.
So I was thinking about the monetary system that we use in this country and many other countries in the Western world, the fiat monetary system, and I'm thinking to myself, who loses if I default on a loan to a bank? Okay? Because my contention is if I default on a loan to a bank, no one loses. Because I had the money and I bought something, so I gained, right?
Yep.
The bank never had the money in the first place.
Correct.
They created the money on a balance sheet, and they will write that defaulted loan off.
Correct.
So who actually loses if you default on a loan?
Well, currently, probably as you say, nobody. And I want to head to the chat, right? Juju Cossi says we're on pay-as-you-go gas, and it's costing us £7.50 a day.
Yeah,
And
that's
beyond
just
a joke.
that's crazy. I mean, I don't know what the government are trying to do here, because you are going to have people in the street with pitchforks.
And they've also approved the energy companies putting your bills up by 40% again in April.
Yeah.
Right, John, if I may.
Yes, you may, Ben. Indeed. Take it away.
Right. I've already said this to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I have said this to you once already. And clip this and share it. The way to stop what they are doing to you, this is the energy companies, and their profiteering, is to just turn around and say, no. Okay? Say to them, I'm not paying you that. And in fact, when the prices go up even further, say, I'm only giving you 30%. I'm only giving you 30% of what you are demanding of us. And the reason I'm doing that is because I know how much you're profiteering. Now, if 100 of you did that, it's not going to do anything. If 1,000 of you do that, it's not going to do anything. But if 1,000,000 of you do it, it will change your prices overnight. And the reason it will do so is because they cannot afford to take 1,000,000 of you to court. Watch them try.
You're quite right. You are quite right.
I am right.
And this moment,
Oh, hear that.
this moment brought to you by those needing the toilet.
Mr. Jungle Griffin says, I've cut down the heating this winter and it's bloody miserable and I've turned it back up again now. Do you know what? At the end of the day, if you cannot afford to pay these people, then they're going to have to wait. They're just going to have to wait. And unfortunately, so many people, ourselves included, I mean, we didn't have a choice for our smart meters because they were here when we moved in, right?
Yeah.
But so many people have been put on smart meters. Now, if they weren't on smart meters, then they wouldn't be able to do things remotely. That would be a lot better.
Apparently, you can get a smart meter removed.
You can if you are persistent and demand it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Mr.
here's the thing. that
Yeah.
I'm surprised that.
Right.
I'm surprised there hasn't been more people dying. Not from the cold, right?
Okay.
But from methods of trying to keep warm. Like by opening up chimneys that maybe shouldn't have been opened up, that aren't
Yeah.
safe, right? By trying to burn things that they shouldn't be burning, you know?
Okay.
By using different means of trying to heat the house, by trying to reroute their electricity by themselves, you know, by trying to bypass the gas meter, all that kind of stuff. I'm surprised more people haven't either blown themselves up or died or, you know, or asphyxiated or
That's
burnt
right.
their house down. I'm really surprised that's not happened. And I'm glad
Well,
it's not happened, you know.
I think I know why. Because I think ultimately people are just doing what they want and are going to try and deal with it at a later date. Everybody is falling
Yeah.
behind on these bills, right? Mr. Jungle Griffin says, "Fortunately, I can afford it, but I resent paying it." I'm gonna tell you, I can't afford it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't afford my energy bills. I can't afford them.
Yeah,
Um,
the electricity is getting cut off in one of our units here.
It is?
At the beginning of March. Because we can't pay it.
But I'm not going to sit around. You know, people have accused me on Twitter, right, of making thousands and thousands of pounds a month doing this.
I'd like to find out how.
Well, me too. And I've been accused of this for 3 straight years, by the way.
I can't believe that we're still laugh about it. Because we don't make enough. We couldn't feed ourselves with beans and toast for a week in what we make. And that's perfectly honest. Isn't
I mean, we
it, Ben?
don't make anything.
Yeah, well, we don't make anything because anything we do make has already been spent on providing these services.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Yeah.
we don't get these things for nothing. We don't get the electricity to do the podcast. We don't get Restream for nothing. We don't get Rumble for nothing. You know,
Nope. Twitter blue ticks to try and get
Yeah.
ourselves pushed out algorithmically. It's not free.
it's not
Right.
nothing's free in this world. And there you go. But
There
anyway,
you go. You know, we live well beyond. Well, I say I live well beyond my means. I live completely within my means, right? Completely within my means, except for the energy.
well, I
like,
think everybody's in that boat now, mate, aren't they?
Well, like for example, I went away in January, and I'm going away again in March. And people will go, "How the hell can you afford to go away twice if you can't?" I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for it. Either time. My friend has said to me both times. You know, she says to me,
Yeah.
I look like I need a holiday. Apparently, I always look like I need a holiday. But Shalini says, "Come on, Ben, you're hiding the money now." I wish I was hiding the money.
Did you see it? Did you see it last? Did you not see us last week, Shalini, or one of the shows last week where the guy was hiding the money in his couch? One of the Ukrainian guys, one of the Ukrainian government ministers, who was hiding money in his couch. And when I say hiding money, I mean it was like, it was like Monopoly money gone wild. There was that much of it.
Well, yeah, I'm going to let you in on something. I'll let you in a little secret, right? And you know, when I do the music shows, if I am going away and I say like, "Oh, please donate me a glass of wine," right? What you're actually donating me is my meal. I just
Yeah,
I
he
just
doesn't
have
drink
it up
wine.
with it.
He doesn't drink
well,
wine.
Well, the thing is, the fact that I'm going away is one thing. Can I afford to live while I'm away? That's another thing. But you know,
Yeah. Anyway, enough of you.
we don't make money doing this. Is what I'm trying to say. We need 1,000 subscribers before we can even make a penny. So we don't make thousands of pounds a month. I wish we did.
No,
I
we
really do.
we don't make thousands of pounds a month.
I wish John wasn't going under where he is. I wish John wasn't having to move to a different location. You know what I mean. I wish we were in better situations and better positions, but it is what it is, and we ride it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Right, let's move on. Now, I think we're going to have to tackle the Nicola Bully situation.
She's trending right now.
Well, yeah, okay. So, the points I'd like to talk about is the paranormal live streamers.
Oh, you kind of showed me this earlier, and I wasn't really paying attention. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So apparently there was a huge stramash last night about some paranormal group, Paranormal 4S or something, who did a live stream asking spirits if they knew what had happened to Nicola and where she was and could she talk to them. But they had like 28 creepy dolls in this room. You saw the picture of the dolls, right? Yeah. And a picture of Nicola, and they were trying to connect to her over the astral plane, something like that. And I mean, obviously they've been pilloried for this. Pilloried. Oh, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I thought it's probably in poor taste because we don't know if she's dead or not. So I thought I don't think I would have tried a paranormal live stream at this point in the game.
Well, I don't either, and you know, we shouldn't speculate, but at the same time, let's speculate, right?
Well, see, right. So this is the whole thing I don't get about people that are on, and they're saying, why would people go to the scene? Why would people look at this? Why would people take photographs and selfies at the bench and all this? Because you got to remember, and I speak as a lefty here, okay, but you've got to remember that people are inherently curious. And if you don't give them answers, they'll go and try and seek them for themselves to a degree. Now,
They will, yeah.
And people are ghoulish. They are. I mean, you only need to drive by a car crash. And the other side of the road is just about crashing into themselves because they're too busy slowing down and gawping at what's happening. So
Yeah.
people do this all the time. So why would it be any different for something like this? Yeah, it's high profile, and I'm not saying it's nice, it's not nice, and it's maybe stupid. But if the police have finished with the scene, how long do you keep a public footpath shut? You know?
My other question is this, right? And my other question is, since Nicola Bulley went missing and now,
Yeah.
how many other people in this country have gone missing?
Probably quite a lot.
And where is the attention and focus?
Well, they'll be on Nicola Bulley.
Why?
Because she's attractive.
We covered this on Rise, didn't we?
Yeah.
Shalene
She's
says
attractive and she makes a good story.
Shalene
and-
says flat out she ain't in the river.
Right, okay. Right. And, well, so what's going on with the river, right? Because new evidence has come to light, okay? I mean, nothing that you were told originally is actually what happened, apparently.
Well,
Okay.
no, first of all, we had a 10-minute window. Now we've got a 3-hour window.
No, right. So now you've got the phone was found on the bench at the river. The dog was near the road, which is not at the river, right? So
Right.
that's a big discrepancy straight away, right?
Right.
So the dog would tend to follow her, right? Then you've got the partner's interview on TV, right? Which quite a few, including Peter Hyatt, said he didn't show any deception, yet this German guy, this German body language expert, is giving it, he's showing loads of deception. Now, I didn't like the way the guy interviewed, right? In my gut, I just didn't like it. And I'm going to speculate personally on what I think, right? And I'm not saying that he's involved in it, right?
Right.
But what I think is he knows more than he's telling.
Well, I'm looking at something here, and I don't know if this image is manipulated, right? But I'm looking at something right now. There's an image of him from last week, and he appears to have a black eye.
Right, okay. I don't know, I've not seen that. But I think he knows more than he's saying, right? And what he's leaving out may have something to do with how or why or where she is, right?
Yeah.
Because it may be that she's done this off her own volition, right?
Apparently, there's a documentary about it gone out tonight on Channel 5.
Oh, right, okay.
A documentary about her already.
Yeah, see, that's not right because you don't know the story yet. I mean, you don't know what's happening. But so if I may finish, right? If you could stop interrupting my summation, right?
Yes.
One, I think he's being disingenuous. There's something he knows he's not telling, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't strike me as trustworthy, and he doesn't strike me as someone who is in turmoil and doing the utmost they can to find their partner, right?
Okay.
Secondly, he was very bundled up during that interview. How cold was it?
Yeah, he was, and he's the one that's been on this Channel 5 documentary tonight. So, partner of Nicola Bully believes a local person is responsible for her disappearance. In tonight's exclusive Channel 5 interview, Paul Ansell says, whatever has happened, in my eyes, has to be somebody who knows the local area. So he's saying she didn't go in the river.
Right, so do you remember the guys that dragged the river, the specialist team that said
they're saying she didn't go in the river.
That said, well, no, originally they said she's definitely not in this river, right? She didn't go in this river. No, they're not saying that anymore.
They're at the coast now.
No, but the specialist guys that said she's not in the river are now saying she's definitely in the river.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, who changed their mind?
Oh, come on.
And then Jeremy Vile, he puts the icing on the cake today, doesn't he?
Right.
He calls it a murder on live TV.
He doesn't.
He did. It was possibly a slip, but he called it a murder on live TV.
Okay, so is he going to get an Ofcom complaint like Mark Stein?
You tell me.
Well, honestly, I
doubt it.
I doubt it, but I don't know what's happened. I'm pretty certain she's probably not in the river, but at the same time, tomorrow they could find her in the river, and I could be proved wrong.
Well, yeah, and that could happen. I don't think she's in the river either. I think she's away somewhere.
Do you think she's done a Gone Girl?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think she's alive?
Yeah, I do. I don't think she's been abducted. I think she's done this. I think she's manipulated it. I think she's maybe tried to get away from him or something like that. But I think she's gone.
Have you seen the movie Gone Girl?
No.
You need to watch that movie.
Okay.
You do. It's basically this sort of situation. Woman goes missing. They can't find her. Husband is played by Ben Affleck and is set up to make it look like he's done it. Really, she's manipulated the entire situation, and she murders someone along the way as well. And it says that person was the one that kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And gets away with it.
Yeah. Hey, it's just what my gut tells me. That's all. I mean, and I can't really pin it down. There's a number of different things, and I think the river is a big white herring.
The police are adamant, though, aren't they? They're adamant she's in that bloody river.
See, why are the police... See, have the police got some information that we don't know, then, as to why they think she's in the river, or is it just... They just want to tie the loose ends up and say, well, she's in the river, she's gone out to sea, we'll never find her, that's it, case closed.
Well, like I said, so, first of all, we've got a 10-minute window that she's unaccounted for, right? First of all, what do you mean you've got a 10-minute window? So you know where she was before it, you know where she was after it. What are you saying? Right?
Well, you don't know where she was after it, so...
Well, exactly. So how can we have a 10-minute window, for starters?
You don't. Well,
right?
I take it what they're saying is, you can't account for her between, what is it? When did she start the call, the team's call?
Well, I'm thinking from maybe the end of the team's call and when the dog was found.
No, you can't, see, because the team's call, she never participated in the team's call, right?
Did she not? Because they're saying she did.
Oh, see, this is what we're not getting the full information. I was told she never participated in the team's call, and it wasn't unusual for her not to. She would just
Okay.
listen in, right? So if she's dialed in to the Teams call and said hello, that's participation, right?
Okay.
But after that, if she's done nothing, you've got the window from when that call started to when the phone was found. And
Yeah.
that's bigger than 10 minutes. I think it was a half-hour call,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah, but now the window, as of this morning, the window that the police are interested in is 3 hours, right?
it? How does
And
that-
now they're also looking for the driver of a red van,
Right, hold on a minute.
as of today.
Why they're looking for a 3-hour window?
I don't know, but it has changed.
And what is that 3-hour window?
I don't know.
Well, they must have given us a clue as to if they're looking for a 3-hour window. They must
Right,
tell
hold
us
on.
what the times are.
Let's see if we can look it up. I'm going to see if I can look it up, right? So, no, I don't want to go to Google, YouTube. Sorry, I want to go to Google. We want to go to Google, right? So we're going to put Nicola Bully 3-hour window. Nicola Bully 3-hour window. Okay. Oh no, a 2-hour window. My apologies. So here we go. This is from the Birmingham Mail. Nicola Bully. Police investigate mystery 2-hour window between disappearance and first call. The missing mum of 2 was last seen walking her dog Willow about 9:10 a.m. on January 27th. Okay. Fuck off. I don't care about that. Nicola Bully police are investigating a mystery 2-hour gap between her disappearance and the first police call. The missing mum of 2 was last seen walking her dog Willow about 9:10 a.m. Nicola vanished 2 weeks ago now after dropping her children off at school in St Michael's on Ware, Lancashire, but the first call to the police didn't come until about 11 a.m.
From the partner?
I guess so. It means there's almost 2 hours between her last sighting and the officers starting their search for the vanished 45-year-old. Police believe the 45-year-old fell in the river while walking her Springer Spaniel Willow. Lancashire police have dismissed any suggestion Ms. Bully is a victim of crime. Miss Bully's family called in help from Peter Faulding, a specialist group international, but after a 3-day search earlier this week, no trace was found. On what he thinks happened to her, he told the PA news agency, "It's a total mystery for me. I really don't know. In all the searches I've done, this is one which will stick with me. Normally we get tasked with, searching for a knife or a body and there's been a witness to a drowning or we've got really good intelligence. The sort of information we've got here is a mobile phone on a bench, but we don't know anything else. I'm glad, really, that we haven't found Nicola because I didn't want to recover another dead body. It just opens it up. Is she alive? Is she dead? Did she go into the river or didn't she? And I can't say one way or another. I'm baffled by it, and I think most people are. It's quite emotional. I mean, brings tears to my eyes, to be honest with you, sitting with Paul for a couple of hours, hearing about Nicola and particularly the children. There, where's mummy? So, yeah. So I guess this is an update here from the Mirror. Nicola Bully, mum of 2, blah, 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 I accept. Nicola Bully's desperate partner has begged for more resources to find the missing mum. Mum of 2, Nicola, vanished while walking a dog. We know that. Her phone was found. We know that. Police launched an extensive search of the area and said their main working hypothesis was that she fell in the river. However, her partner Paul Ansell has said he is 100% convinced Nicola is not in the water and has called on police to give more resources and widen the search on land. So he's fighting the police. The police are saying she went in the river. He's saying they're chatting shit. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. From all that I've seen so far, just as someone on the outside looking in, I don't think she gone in the river. But that's just mere speculation. That's what I think.
It's not a deep river.
Well, no, and surely she's athletically, she's athletic enough to have got out the river. And also, why was the dog dry? Because if I went in the river and I was with my dog, the dog would jump in after me.
It depends. My dog wouldn't. My dog would not jump in the river after me.
That's because your dog's pathetic, John.
Yeah, but I've seen your dog.
I
It's
know.
pathetic
He's
also.
also pathetic.
But a Springer Spaniel, you're hard pushed to keep them out of the water.
Mm.
Generally, right. Anyway, so
Let me
yeah,
continue, because I'm going to look up just quickly for this red van, because this is another thing that's come out today. So Nicola Buddy police give huge update on red van and try to find owner. So fine by me, I don't care. But cops don't think anything untoward happened. Do you know what worries me?
you can't see. How can a cop say that? That's the thing that gets me, because you're looking at the evidence, right? And all the evidence you've got, all you've got is she's not there, right? The phone is, the dog is.
Yeah.
That's all you've got.
That's all you've got.
Right? So it doesn't matter how you spin it, you cannot say that there's no untoward influence or someone else was involved or not.
Yeah.
You know, or it was an accident or it was suicide. You cannot say any of those things because you don't have any evidence to back any of that up.
He's right. He's absolutely right. I'm just perplexed, right? I'm just perplexed by the fact that, once again, I'm going to go back to, this is news. Like, yeah, it should be news, right? It should be news. We should be looking for missing people. But I'm going to go back to the question. Since 2 weeks ago to today, how many more people have gone missing, and how much national news coverage are they getting?
Yeah, well, they don't get any. It's like, how many people stand with Turkey at the moment? Nobody's changed their flags. Because nobody's told them to.
No, you've got to have the Ukraine flag.
Yeah, nobody. Don't stand with Turkey. Don't send your money to Turkey. Ukraine needs it more.
Ukraine does. It needs it more. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And talking about Ukraine, what was Bobblehead and his pal doing over here?
He just appeared, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just at Stansted Airport. Out comes the cocaine dwarf.
I can't stand the guy.
He comes to the British Parliament, sits at the top of the stairs in a chair.
Oh, my...
People of Britain, I need your planes. Give me your planes.
And then what does that clown Johnson do?
Give him all of our planes. Yes, give him. We should give him all of our planes.
Guess what I found out this week? We've only got 5 days worth of ammunition.
Do you think I'm surprised by anything like that?
No. So Germany...
Do you think that shocks me?
Germany's got 3 days worth of ammunition, at best, right? We've got 5 days. Who would we be stopping from doing anything? Because let's face it, people, it takes more than a couple of weeks to ramp up your ammunition output. Mind blown. So everything's gone to Ukraine, right? And I'm pretty sure we've depleted our supplies. Everything's gone to Ukraine. They've spunked it all at Russia to no avail. And they're still getting ground up into tiny little bits as Russia moves in I'm trying to say it. What is it? Well, they're just going to creep forward and forward and forward. You're just not going to stop them. That's how Russia works.
That is how Russia works. He's absolutely right. That's not us propagandizing on behalf of Russia. That's just speaking to the situation at hand, right? Ukraine and Russia... There's no good guy here. There's no good guy.
There's definitely... I've been doing a lot of research here, right? I'm not going to go into it tonight, okay? Because I'm actually going to make a series of videos about this. Because
he is. I know about this.
I've even got the titles because
he has.
It's incredible. It's incredible what's going on right now, and it's actually quite interesting. And you know, there are a couple of ways we come out of it, and hopefully we'll come out of it without going to full-blown nuclear war. But yeah, it's quite incredible. It's quite interesting.
It's quite interesting that they could have negotiated for peace a long, long time ago, but it seems like Western interference
Well, do you remember that
in
thing?
stopping that.
Do you remember that thing we discussed way back in, was it March or April or something, about the peace process and how that they were just about there, and then Johnson turned up and everything changed, right? That's actually coming out in the MSN now.
Just about now, yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out now.
Oh, what's that? We were
Nearly there. We nearly had a peace process, and then it got stopped.
Oh, Jesus. I just... Look. There's no good guy here. There is no good guy here.
No, there isn't.
And do you really...
But you know what? There are levels of bad guys. And one of them is badder than the other, I would say.
And we'll let you decide.
You decide who the bad guy really is.
you decide.
So
We're not going to...
I forgot today to finish off my webpage for the competition. So I'll make that a priority for tomorrow.
He's making an entry form for the competition.
So you'll have an entry form for the competition, and what you do is you go to the playlist that I will create on YouTube, and you watch a couple of videos that we've made, and all you do is you list the films or movies, if whatever you want to call them, that are referenced in the clips. Okay. And whoever gets the most will go into the draw to become presenter for the night with me on All In.
On like the 10th of March. So that's not too far away. It's a month today.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
4 weeks. So get your thinking caps on and get those entries in.
And you know what? I won't even be able to watch the show live because I am putting a lot of trust in somebody here, right? Because I won't even be able to watch the show live. I won't even be able to keep an eye on this ball bag.
Yeah.
And on whoever you are.
Please don't enter unless you have some method of dialing in.
That's also true.
To Zoom.
Shalini asks what competition. So there's about to be a competition opening up on the website, www.chasingdissent.com. The prize is to replace me.
Shalini, I just don't know about Shalini. Why has she been absent for so long? What's going on?
Irish. I don't know.
Irish. Yeah. The prize is to replace Ben.
Is to replace me.
Right.
For one night.
I need to go downstairs and replenish my beer supply. So I'll be 2 secs. Yeah.
He doesn't even leave his fucking beer upstairs.
Well, no, because I've got to keep it cold.
He's even put himself on big screen. And now you're going to spend the next 2 minutes looking at an empty fucking chair. And there's absolutely nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing I can do in order to make it so that you don't see me. So look, you're looking at an empty chair. I just don't know. And I can hear myself back. What is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, I can only apologise for all of this. I'm sorry that it's making you sleepy. Would you like me to? I don't know. I just don't know. Come on. Hold on. Okay, you can't see this, and you probably won't be able to hear it, but. I've got an out-of-tune guitar. It's... Black Gary's Gaff of the Week. 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 Oh, Gary. Oh, Gary. It's Black Gary.
Did it?
Oi!
I'm a plonker.
Oi.
I pushed the wrong button, didn't I?
Yes, you fucking did.
What a complete and utter arsehole.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I must apologise, people. Yes,
I sung them.
that
I
is
sung
a-
them Black Gary.
Oh, well done, mate. So,
They look at
I'm so sorry about that, people. Imagine that. What a complete and utter dork.
You are not forgiven.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm still big screen, so that'll do.
Yeah, you are now, yeah.
Yeah, I am now. They can see me now. You know, I'm not even central on that. I mean, come on now, boy. I'm not even central.
What do you mean you're not central? You're not supposed to be. Rule of
I'm,
thirds. Rule of thirds.
I'm on the left.
Yeah, rule of thirds.
I'm on the left.
Yeah, well, you are. You keep telling me you're a lefty.
I mean, I do look good, though, don't I?
Oh, fucking hell, man. Give
Oh,
it a
come
rest.
on. Look,
It's
listen.
like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like, you get a whole week, and I'm going to go big screen for this. You get a whole week of him moaning about how bad his camera is, right? How he can't possibly work under these circumstances. How he
I
can't
couldn't work under this condition.
how he can't produce a quality product under these conditions.
Kept saying it.
Yeah, how he can't possibly do propaganda watch because he's just not going to put out an inferior product. And
Yep.
and then he goes on and on and on, and he's going on and on about what camera he's going to get, and I can't afford this and I can't afford that, I can't afford anything, but I'm going to try and get this. And then he goes, I'm not buying a webcam, and then he buys a webcam.
Because I couldn't afford anything else.
And now we're going to get a week about how fantastic his webcam is.
It is pretty fucking fantastic, though, isn't it, John?
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
And it only cost just
Oh,
over 50
Jesus.
quid. Look,
You wonder why I'm going grey. Look at me.
you're going grey because you're 60.
Don't tell everyone. Shh.
That's why you're going grey. Oh, Jesus Christ, John. You're 61 soon, right? It's not too far, is it?
I'm not a bad looking 61 though. Well, 60.
No. What
Right.
do you mean I'm so predictable?
Oh, you are. You are.
How the hell am I predictable?
Well, you're not unpredictable.
I am the complete definition of unpredictable, thank you very much.
I don't know why you think that.
Because I just do. I don't
Well,
think,
you may
I just
think that.
do.
But you are the complete definition of predictability. Everything you do is predictable. I mean, when you play on Fortnite, we could write a script on what you're going to do. And we could write down exactly what you're going to say when these things get done, right? And when it comes to this show and how you behave, we could write a script and we could write down exactly what you're going to say. You are the definition of I mean, you may think yourself unpredictable, but you are far from unpredictable, my man. Far from it.
Jay Franklin says I'm a knob.
Well, aren't we all to a little degree? Aren't we all a bit of a knob?
I've never said I wasn't.
Yeah, I never said you weren't either.
Jay Franklin says, sorry, you know what? Honesty is the best policy.
No,
And-
never apologise for speaking the truth, Jay. Never.
I'm just really, really upset by the whole thing. Right? That's what I'm gonna, here's what I'm
Oh
gonna
no,
do.
don't! Oh fucking hell! I mean, I could have written this into the script. At some point, Ben will shut the shutter on of his camera to show us that he can shut the shutter on his new camera. You are Mr. Predictable. Anyway, right, so apparently GPs, going back to the medical profession, GPs are lamenting about the state of the NHS
Right, I want to.
and their inability to provide a service.
let me just make a quick comparison, right? I want to make a quick comparison.
Go on.
The French healthcare system and the British healthcare system.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Both of them spend roughly the same per capita on their healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Roughly similar sized populations, to be fair, as well.
yeah, and they spend roughly the same per capita.
A lot less of them die from heart attacks than us, though.
Well, in France, they've got 2.5 times the beds we do.
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah, they
hospitals.
do. Yeah.
They don't have the problem of ambulance stacking. They
No,
don't
they
have
don't.
any of these issues, and they're spending the same money per head.
Mhm.
So you have to wonder, what the hell is going on in the NHS? I'll tell you what's going on. Middle management, diversity managers, and art curators.
Yeah. But I mean, we know exactly what's going on in the NHS. We know that it is a completely ill-managed, in fact, mismanaged organisation, and has been
Yeah.
since the 70s.
Well, yeah. Well, like I say, these are two government healthcare systems.
Yeah.
They spend the same, roughly per capita per head, on healthcare, and you can just look at how vastly, vastly different they are.
Yeah. But the problem is they're looking at the NHS as an organisation that is effectively should be making money. Right? Now,
Right?
how can you look at something that's a public service as a money-making exercise?
Well, you shouldn't be doing so.
But that's
You
what
shouldn't.
they do, don't they?
Yeah, but
Because they get in people that are used to managing corporations and companies and things to manage hospitals.
you know, I watch direct comparisons often on the mainstream news and stuff like that. People will try and compare us to the American healthcare system, right? That comparison shouldn't even be made,
No, it shouldn't.
right? We are a government-funded or a government-run healthcare, and so we need to look at other state-run, state-sponsored healthcare systems in order to make the comparison. And I look at France, and I look at France directly, and you know, Mark Stein has returned. He's not returned to GB News, but the Mark Stein show is now on his website, right?
Yeah.
And he said he had his first heart attack in London and didn't even know he'd had it,
Uh-huh.
right? But he had his second heart attack in France,
He was lucky.
and he was lucky because his life was saved.
Yeah. Because
But
the French would then go to town because, I mean, I've said it before, but the French are all hypochondriacs. Okay, and when you go to a French doctor, even if you go to get your prescription renewed, you get a full physical every
Yeah.
time, every freaking time, and it costs you €25, which you can then claim back through the French medical system.
Yes, so you just pay up front.
You pay up front, but you get it back. If you have to go into hospital, you get €100 a day or something like that you can claim back, right? If your stuff costs more than that, then you need to start thinking about asking your insurance to stump up, right? So it's a kind of hybrid system. So it's partially funded by the state, and then you top it up with insurance. Okay.
Yep.
But they don't leave anything to chance. They go to town on it. And the French are nuts. You know, you walk into, say you walked into the bar and you had a sniffle. The French would go, you should go to the doctor. And you're like, I've got a cold, and they'd go, oh, it doesn't matter. Go to the doctor. Go get it
Yeah.
seen to. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
But you know what? Do you know what? They can get to the doctor. They can see their GP.
Listen.
They can do these things.
I didn't even have a doctor, and I got an appointment the next day.
And you had full physicals, and they made sure
Yeah.
that you had the correct medication.
Absolutely. Yeah. No problem.
And
And you go to the chemist and you get the stuff there and then, and yeah, you have to pay for it, but again, you can claim it back. So you pay up front and then claim it back. Or actually, by the time you've got your medical card, you just give that across and the physician swipes it and you get it for more or less nothing. You know,
Well,
you do have to pay a token fee like we do here, because you don't pay the full value of your prescription here. What's wrong, Ben?
I'm just trying to get something up on my screen, and it's just come up as script. Really interesting. You know, so I'll just say it. If you'd like to support the show at this point, and you can support the show, then please consider becoming a monthly supporter at either patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. We've now set up the finances properly, so we have a Chasing Dissent war chest. any donations will go straight into that Chasing Dissent war chest and sit there basically and pay for things like Rumble and pay for things like Restream and things like our algorithmic boosts on Twitter.
And you can go in and make a one-off donation to that at paypal.me/chasing this. That's Chasing This, all one word, DISS.
There we go.
Couldn't go Chasing Dissent because someone's already got that. I don't understand how.
No.
So beware. Do not donate to paypal.me/chasing dissent because that's not us.
That's not us. That is not us. Let's try this one again. My apologies.
Try what?
I'm trying to open up the text file and it won't let me.
What text file?
To put in the chat.
What chat?
The links.
All right, okay. What are you? The links for the show?
Yeah.
Have you done it previously? Did you not do it at the start?
Yeah, but I ended up copying something. Don't worry, I've sorted it.
Okay. He sorted it, people. So we'll carry on. We'll carry on with the show then, can we?
Of course we can carry on with the show. I'll tell you, shall I tell you a ball ache of a thing that's happened to me today?
No.
My Paramount Plus account's been hacked, John.
He told me anyway, though.
I told you anyway.
Right, what's a Paramount Plus account? Just a matter of
So,
interest.
Paramount Plus is an app, right? It's a streaming service.
Okay.
I am a member of Paramount Plus because it comes with one of our packages, right? And I got an email from Paramount Plus that someone had stolen my account today and changed the email on it.
That was nice.
That's lovely. So I've had to get in touch with customer service and
You get it sorted.
hopefully get it returned. So if you are a member of any of these streaming services, it seems like there might be something happening right now because this is not the first I've heard of this, and I've heard of it with things like Netflix as well.
Yeah.
So just be careful.
Yeah. Oh, so see, Netflix are clamping down on sharing.
Yeah, well, big time, yeah.
Yeah, but so.
They're going to lose millions of subscribers.
Yeah, so what they're going to do, right, so this is a part, how are they going to achieve this, though? Because you're going to have to log on to your own broadband.
Yeah, you're going to have to log on to your home broadband. At least
Once a month, right? How are they going to tell?
I don't know, because most people use VPNs now.
Or even if they're not using VPNs, most home broadband uses dynamic IP addresses. So your IP address could change on a whim.
And not only that, like if you say you don't have home broadband and you're only phone based, yeah?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
My phone does not have a static IP address.
Most home broadbands don't either.
No. So I don't know what they're going to do to enforce this other than just completely ban loads and loads of people by mistake. Right? That's probably what's going to happen.
That might be problematic.
Shalini says, oh shit, I've got Paramount. Well, just make sure your account is secure. If you've got the ability to turn on two-factor authentication on it, please do. Just make sure your account's secure.
Jay, do you want to
We're
rush?
getting there.
Do you want to rush through things? I mean,
we're getting there, Jay.
just
We're getting there.
chill. I mean,
Look, we're just right now. We're just cupping the balls.
we're nowhere near the tickly bit. Nowhere near it.
No, just cupping the balls.
So I'm going to talk about ADHD.
Is this in regards to my tweet earlier?
No, believe it or not, this has absolutely nothing to do with your tweet. I had this up the other day, and after the show, I read an article on ADHD and how the American Association is saying it is vastly overdiagnosed and misused, and it's just been used as a catch-all for basically everything. Because remember the guy that originally diagnosed it kind of said that he really wished that he hadn't, because he kind of just did it as an explanation for bad parenting without telling people they were bad parents. And then he kind of backtracked and everybody said, oh no, it is a real disease. Well, the American ADHD Association are pretty much saying, look, you know, if you're giving people stimulants to make them more focused, you're really not treating an attention deficit problem by giving people more stimulants. See, this is why I don't understand, because people that have ADHD that get Ritalin is a stimulant, right? Once you're past puberty. So people that are diagnosed with ADHD before puberty and given Ritalin shouldn't really be kept on it afterwards. That's the part I don't get, because it then becomes a stimulant once you're past puberty.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so the ADHD thing it's another thing that I like to refer to as victim culture. Because everybody in the modern world that's under the age of 40 appears to want, or in fact, not even that. Sometimes it's old people as well. In fact, generally everybody, except for the people that can see through all the shit, but everybody wants to be a victim. They always want to blame their circumstances on someone else's fault. They want to blame their health issues on someone else's fault. They want to blame, they just want to blame their poor choices in life on someone else's fault. They want to blame the fact that they're black on someone else's fault, or they're white on someone else's fault. It's just everyone wants to be a bloody victim. Nobody turns around and goes, yeah, okay, I fucked up and I made a mistake and I'm going to try and do something to change my circumstances. But no, they all want to be a victim, and they all want supported in their victimhood. And this is the part that pisses me off, because you're not fucking victims. Take responsibility for your own life.
Do you know what? You're absolutely right. I do think it's overused, for one, but I think a prime example of what you are talking about is TikTok. We can go back to TikTok. I think a prime example of what you are talking about is TikTok, because everybody on TikTok, well, not everybody, but a lot of people on TikTok are on there simply to say, this is how I am a victim, and this is why you should respect me as a victim. Or these are my pronouns, and you must use them. This is that. And they don't just want to be victims. They want to dictate to others how they should be treated as a victim.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. As somebody who has several physical disabilities and autism, I don't want to be treated as a victim. I want to ride around on my mobility scooter pissing people off. That's what I want to do. I want to have fun. I want to just be treated like anybody else. I know I want to stir the old pot a bit. I don't want to be treated like a victim. But it's why I made that tweet earlier. I get pissed off with all of these people and say that this needs curing, that needs curing, right? Because then that ultimately
right. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me be a tad controversial, possibly.
Go ahead.
Right. So, if you could do something that would give you much more mental clarity and change the way you look at things, would you do it?
No.
Why?
Because I'm comfortable in my own skin, I'm comfortable in my own thoughts, and I'm happy the way I am.
Yeah, okay. But if you did that thing and then found that you were more comfortable, would you go back?
I wouldn't do that thing in the first place, so...
Right, so okay. So let me say this to you then. If someone could cure your bodily ills, would you do it?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't like being in pain.
Okay, so how do you know that you don't like being in the mental state that you're in?
Because I'm content in the mental state that I'm in.
Are you? Or do you just think you're content?
I wasn't. During that first year of lockdown, yeah, when people were egging me on to go and do more and more and more, and wind more and more people up, my mental state was through the floor.
Right.
And anybody that knew me knew that I was one outburst away from riding my scooter off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even my GP was on the phone to me saying, "I'm surprised you haven't thrown yourself off a car park," and that's because of things in my past. right?
That's just what you want to hear from your GP, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he actually said.
Oh, you're still alive. Thanks.
He actually said to me because
That means we still keep getting paid for you. Thank you.
because I've had well, technically will have for life, I guess, complex
Right.
post-traumatic
Okay. So if you had a non-verbal autistic child and you could give them something that would make them talk, would you?
It depends on. See, this is a very, very tricky question, and there's a nuance to the answer. And the reason there's a nuance to the answer is just because they're non-verbal does not mean that necessarily that they can't communicate, right? And secondly, you would still, if possible, leave the decision up to that other human being, that child.
Okay. But if you could give them something that would make them verbal and they could then communicate to you exactly how they felt and whether they wanted to go back or not, would you not do it just once?
What I would definitely do is consider it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something you can answer. Well, some people would answer on the spot, but it's not something I could answer on the spot. And it's simply. Trudy says she's got a cousin who's non-verbal. He's in residential care, and like Jay says, this is what ifs and what ifs.
Well, yeah, it's all what ifs, but that's what life is. Because I mean, what if I didn't do this and this happened? And what if I, if I hadn't done that, then that might not have happened. I mean,
but what if that child had the most loving, unique, personality, like my son, for example? He's not non-verbal. He used to be, by the way. He didn't speak until he was around 4, right? But he's got the most unique, out there, you can't help but love him personality. And what if you gave them that drug to quote unquote cure them, yeah? And then that person's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you done a good thing?
It's a what if, yeah.
So it's always going to be a what if, and to me, these sorts of conversations sound like eugenics.
Well, they're not eugenics, right? Because they're not dealing with things at the genetic level, are they?
Well,
but apart from that, right? So the question is, what's the difference between giving someone a cure for a bodily ailment than it is to give them something for a cure for a mental ailment?
Because you have no idea if they're going to come out the same person.
Yeah, that applies to both body and mind. Because if you fix someone's body, then they could become a complete arsehole because they can do things that they couldn't do before.
I mean, I would just become more of an arsehole.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? But I think it's a very tricky area to talk about.
It is, and Trudy makes a good point here. She said it's when these kids reach adulthood, it's sad that they don't get the ongoing support. In fact, I'll go one further, Trudy. I think it's sad that society looks at these people as if there's something wrong with them, or there's something wrong with us, or that we're freaks, or we're this, that, and the other.
Right.
There's nothing wrong.
Right. Okay. If there's nothing wrong, why has it been identified as different?
Different's not necessarily wrong.
Right. Okay. So why was there only one in what? There was like 1 in 10,000 30 years ago, and now there's 1 in 50 or 1 in 20, or they're soon saying it's going to be 1 in 2.
Well, the question is,
why is the incidence increased so much?
But the question is, has the incidence grown up, or are there just thousands, if not millions, of people out there who are never identified, who are struggling through life every day?
Well, but that's just life.
Exactly.
There are thousands of people that struggle through life every day. So, is that even a real disease?
Well, once again, is it a disease?
Well, is that a real problem?
Yeah, well, it's such a nuanced thing to talk about, and you're talking to somebody who has that affliction. Your child has that affliction. My child has that affliction. Right?
This is the point. I don't see you as autistic at all. I really don't.
you only see me in this circumstance, though. You don't.
No, I
see
see you in. I see you. I've seen you in a lot. I've been away with you, and I mean, yes, you have your foibles, but don't we all? But I don't see you as autistic at all
Okay.
in the way that you behave, and especially in the way that you're able to counter back and to argue and to to come up with different things. I don't see that in you at all. I find that you are possibly on a spectrum, right? But that spectrum has many, many, many points.
But
And
this is the point. I'm extremely high functioning, and I'm aware of that.
so,
Right? The
so
place that I struggle the most is with emotion.
yeah, right. But so the yeah, that's right. Okay, but we can all do that. I mean, we can all turn off, right? I mean, I turn up at a car crash and someone's brain's lying on the back seat of a Ford Fiesta because their head's gone through a windscreen, right? And you just switch off and you get on and you deal with the whole circumstance, clean everything up, make a few jokes because humour's always a leveler, and then you get back on with your life. So I mean, that's what life's about. It's about putting your emotions aside, dealing with what's dealt with, and then moving on to the next thing. And I think sometimes we try too hard and give ourselves excuses as to why we don't want to deal with things. And really, sometimes you just got to suck it up and be you've just got to suck it up and do it and get your hands dirty, get it done with, and move on.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do. I do fully understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't be able to convey to you how I experience emotion on a daily basis.
Well, can anyone? Can anyone convey to anyone how they experience? I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, you can look at something. I can look at something, and we can see something completely different, right?
You're absolutely right. And on that note, yes, Trudy, we can indeed put a pin in it.
But so what happens? Do we move on from difficult conversations that we don't want to discuss?
I don't think we should. But I will leave you with this existential question before we move on to our next topic.
Which
What is normal?
Well, yeah. What is it? Nobody's given us a definition of that.
I don't think it exists. Jay says, Ben, I love your cat ears. Cat ears are back, people. The cat ears are back because you can actually see them now.
Right.
Right. So, Jay, we are going to indulge you. I think
No,
we've done...
not yet. Not yet.
Are we not yet? No.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna have to make him wait now.
Oh, come on! You're being mean now.
No, I'm not. Nord Stream's actually quite far down the list. So, former Twitter hierarchy in front of Congress. Have you seen
I haven't
this?
seen it, but I know it happened, and apparently they just got absolutely laid into, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the videos.
They basically got accused of interfering with the 2020 election.
Oh, what you mean? They didn't?
Well, yeah, they did, but
Just of course they did.
and then they were told this is the investigatory part. The arrests come later.
How you doing, Vijaya?
Yeah, Vijaya. What's his name?
Yo.
Roth.
Yeah, yo, Rob.
Yeah. They were all there. Yeah.
There
And
weren't a few of them
Before
escorted
the guy
to the building?
before the guy started on them, he said, "Do you all have counsel present?"
Yeah, well, at least one of them was physically escorted from the building, I believe, at the point of being fired. Whether or not Twitter's in the best hands, I will never know. But what I will say is this, and this might sound controversial because there's so many people calling him this, that, and the other and saying he can't be trusted. No, he can't be trusted. You're absolutely right. But I've got to say it's probably in far better hands now than it was beforehand.
I think it's in.
It's in different hands.
Yeah, I think. I think there's still a way to go, but I think the problem is that it's not in his hands.
No, and he's
'Cause
trying to walk away from it as quickly as possible.
Some of the people that are involved are still the same people that were there originally, and they're still making the same stupid and annoying decisions, like not unbanning accounts.
Well, Trudy says Twitter is weird. I'm getting cam girls following me and dodgy messages. I'm pretty sure John would like some cam girls following him.
Yeah, I don't have anybody following me.
Yeah, he doesn't
People
get
just
any of
don't
that.
follow me. I mean, this is the part I don't get, because I had like what? I mean, you had over 10,000 followers. I had over 5,000 followers.
I've still got over 10,000 followers.
Yeah, no. On your new account, how many followers have you got?
Well, I don't have a new account. I've
No,
had a
right.
account.
Forget the pish about it being your wife's account and all that, right?
No,
How many
in fact-
How many followers have you got on an account that you had to evade your ban, right? Right. How many followers have you got?
Ban, John?
Yeah, how many followers have you got? Well, let's fucking call a spade a spade. You outed me, I'll out you. Right, so how many followers you got in that account?
900?
Right, 900, okay. How long did it take to get those 900?
About 4 weeks.
Right. But what happened? Why didn't they keep going then? Because you had that account for years. Or more than a year.
11 months.
Yeah, right. So why did it take why are you still at 900? Exactly, right? So you had over 10,000 accounts, I had over 5,000 followers, you had over 10,000 followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I built those 5,000 followers in less than a year, right?
I built those 10,500 followers in about 6 months.
Right, okay. Fucking boohoo, you're great. So the question is, why have I still only got less than 300 followers?
I think it's because we are being algorithmically suppressed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think, well, we're trying to get Jaipo back. We don't know if it will ever return. We're trying to get that back. We're trying to get Chasing Dissent back.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the CD press code back.
And Chasing Dissent wasn't even my account. It was a fucking
company account.
It was a company account. It was down as a company account.
Yeah. And also, you got to remember, my first Twitter account, Ministry Dissent, had what, 15,000 followers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got that back? No.
They still haven't given that. They've given me back the one that was used for evading that, but they haven't given me back that
so
one.
their whole system is shit. And yes, you're right. That's the problem, One. There are still woke wankers at Twitter, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but
so it doesn't matter who's at the top. And the thing is, Elon Musk is doing a great job. If you're a fucking celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
And have his ear. But
Yeah.
if you're you or me or someone who he doesn't fucking deign to look at, you've got no chance.
Well, no, and I say I don't understand it. I totally understand it, because the man wants to be loved, right? The man just wants to be loved.
Yeah. And he's not autistic, because he doesn't exhibit autistic tendencies, because autistic people do not go around currying favour with people.
He's just awkward.
Yeah, he's awkward and he's socially inept, but he's not autistic, because autistic people don't fucking curry favour with people. They tell people how it is. You know, they'll tell them straight. Much like me. And I'm not autistic, but I will tell you straight how it is.
Well,
anyway.
Well, I quite like telling people. You know what?
You know what, Ben? Ben, what would you say if I said to you, would you be sick on me during a live show?
What?
Would you vomit on me during a live show?
Well, I'm not a little teenage girl when your name's not Lady Gaga, so...
No, but, I mean, what the fuck is she... What is that? Why would anyone do that?
She got to drink green dye or something, right?
Well, yeah, it was something like blue or green dye or whatever it was, and then she vomits. What the fuck is all that about?
Well, I guess it's expressionism. I don't know. Art? Is it art?
Do you remember the rock singer who peed on the guy's face?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not into this.
Yeah, I'm not into this. But remember, this is the woman who walked around in a dress made of meat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but anything for shits and giggles, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, you know, I don't understand it. It's like I don't understand Sam Smith. I don't understand why he's doing what he's doing. Right? I don't understand these things.
Have you seen the latest one? Where he's lying there like a rolled pork shoulder.
It does. It looks like he's ready to just get on the spit, doesn't it?
Don't. You give me an image there that I really didn't want.
We're gonna cook you over the campfire, boy.
I posted a well-cooked roast and said Sam Smith in the summer. But he's lost it.
Wait, no,
Or
he
he's
exactly
playing,
what he's
yeah,
doing.
but
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, but what kind of state of mind do you have to be to lower yourself to that level, right? Would you? I mean, like, would you do that? See, if I said to you, I could give you 1 million followers tomorrow if you tied yourself up like that and did a Sam Smith thing. Would you do that?
Yes.
You tart.
Oh.
Right, people. Watch out for our new channel. Ben does dirty.
Exclusively on OnlyFans. Trudy says, of course he would. Oh, for God's sake. Am I that? Come on.
I told you you're predictable. I told you.
Spencer says, don't give him ideas like that, John.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I want to go back to a comment that Shalini made earlier during the show that I forgot to go to. She said, oh, you've both got purple in your background now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
And our parents thought the Sex Pistols were bad. I thought the Sex Pistols were brilliant. I love the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, you know, John's a bit of a lefty now, isn't he? But old Lydon.
Anarchy in the... I'm a bit of an anarchist, I think, at heart. What do you mean I know you guys are holding back?
We're holding back the OnlyFans account.
Right, anyway, moving on. What about Joe Biden? Talking about Biden. Were you talking about Biden?
I wasn't.
No, Cat Tut or something did a thing about Joe Biden sniffing Sam Smith's butt, which was, you know...
something Joe Biden would do anyway.
Yeah, he kind of does sniff things, but did you see the video stroke picture of him?
Which one?
Wearing his trousers the wrong way around?
He does things like that. He's got fucking... He's got dementia.
Yeah, but where the fuck was Jill? She's his handler. She's meant to keep him right, is she not? How did he get his trousers on the wrong way?
I mean, do you remember when Whoopi Goldberg, right? Do you remember when Whoopi Goldberg said that Jill should be Surgeon General because she's an amazing doctor?
She's not a fucking doctor.
She's not a doctor!
Well, she's not a medical doctor. Yeah, I think you got to be a medical doctor to be Surgeon General.
Oh dear.
Whoopi. Speaking of Whoopi Goldberg, who was that woman with the helium balloon? Did you see that one?
Oh, what? Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, did you see her walking about with the helium balloon?
In the old, yeah.
Did you see the one where they replaced the helium balloon with Whoopi Goldberg in the white trousers?
I have a question in the chat from Vaughan. He says, John, can you say purple burglar alarm?
Fuck off, Vaughan. I can say fuck off, Vaughan. And anyway, you're ending the show, Vaughan. You are ending the show. I know what you've done.
I'm a bit concerned now.
Yeah, you'll get there. Anyway, right, so New Zealand. The New Zealand media are saying that our Jacinda is just a victim of outrageous trolling, and she's a courageous victim of outrageous trolling.
No.
Give me it.
Jacinda.
Come on, give me it. Channel your inner Jacinda.
Hello there, John. How you doing? You alright there, Pet?
Are you getting trolled, Jacinda?
Well, you guys call it trolling. What it really is I'm being held to account, John. And I don't quite like it.
No,
very-
you don't like it, do you, Jacinda?
No, I don't. I don't. So what I'm going to do, right, because I am the single source of truth, is I'm just going to tell people it's trolling. All right there, John?
Yeah, you do that, Jacinda. You do that. Right, back to the nose. Back to the nose bag, doll. Back to the nose bag.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, I know.
What happened
I know.
there?
Yeah, it was just it was an intervention, mate. An intervention. You're all right.
What did you do to me?
You're fine. You're fine.
What did you do to me,
I'll
John?
just tweak the settings a little. You won't feel a thing.
Oh, no!
Right.
Oh.
Okay. Do you know that? Did I mention this guy Paul Massaro before?
No.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I have. Right.
Okay.
So he purports to be some kind of journalist, right? But he seems to be in some kind of government or quasi-government organisation that's to do with advising people in Europe about things, or
Okay.
advising people in America about people in Europe and all this kind of shit. And he's just a fucking Nazi troll.
Is he the one that got the
Yeah.
adult-
Yes. Yes, he is. This guy is bought in hook, line, and sinker. Do you know what I mean now? Yeah.
I do. I know exactly
Yeah,
what
and
you
he's
mean.
that
John.
huge Azov sign and can't fucking see what it is.
Speaking of Nazism, John, I know we really shouldn't say that word, but speaking of it, how about the pipeline?
Well, what about the Russian cruise missiles that were fired earlier?
There were Russian cruise missiles.
Right, so
fired?
apparently Russia launched an attack on Ukraine last night and sent
Okay.
a stack of cruise missiles in from the Black Sea.
Right.
And apparently,
Apparently.
some of them went over Romanian airspace and the Moldovan airspace, right? So, but Romania is a member of NATO.
Yep.
And everybody's up. I mean, Zelensky's jumping on the phone. You know, they've flown missiles over Romanian airspace. NATO, get involved, right? Hold on a minute. Didn't you drop 2 missiles into Poland and kill 2 people?
Yeah. Yeah. They did,
Which
yeah.
is a fucking NATO member, right?
Yeah.
From Ukraine. And nobody said a thing about it.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah, they did that, but nobody fucking called them to account for killing 2 Polish people, did they?
He's right.
So- So Russia apparently sends missiles over Romanian airspace, which is a NATO member, and Moldova, which is not, right? Romania says, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They came close, but they didn't encroach in our airspace.
Zelensky just really wants NATO.
He
to
wants
follow
NATO
Russia.
involved. He's a fucking warmongering little tranny git.
I mean,
He really is.
I mean, yeah, he is a warmonger. He absolutely is. But let's talk about the pipeline because we've not got time left on the show. The Americans clearly blew up the pipeline. That's my opinion.
No, I think that's been admitted now. The Americans blew up the pipeline.
Well, you say it's been admitted.
Well,
An
okay,
investigative journalist has interviewed someone who says that they had direct involvement in the Americans blowing up the pipeline.
Well, yeah, and what about who was it? Was it the Polish guy that fucking tweeted? Somebody tweeted, "Thank you, USA for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline," then deleted it like 2 minutes later.
Probably.
Yeah.
But remember, Joe Biden is on video, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, he
saying
is.
They will destroy the bloody pipeline.
He's on one of our shorts saying they will destroy the bloody pipeline.
Yeah. The optical image stabilization in this thing is great.
It's not that great. Don't do that.
It's better than it
It's
was.
better than the other one, yes, but don't do that. Right, so yes. I think it's pretty much a given that the US stroke Norway stroke the UK or whoever blew up the pipeline. It doesn't matter who actually did it. It was done by the West. It was an act of war. And what did it achieve?
Well, what it
Other than
achieved,
cut off gas to Germany?
what it achieved was ultimately there will be some kind of retaliation, and you should not look forward to that kind of retaliation.
Well, and actually, to go back a little bit, to remember when you're talking about Zelensky demanding airplanes, and he's not just demanding them from us, he's demanding them from all of Europe, because that's what his whole begging tour was about. He went to France and all that as well. And he saw Ursula, whatever, von der Leyen, whatever her name is. Anyway, so anyway, he's looking for airplanes, and Putin hasn't been shy in telling you what he thinks, because people are saying, what was it Putin said? He said, if the UK supplies fighter jets to the Ukraine, then there will be consequences for all of Europe.
Well, yes, and do you know what? It almost seems to me now, I say almost seems to me, it absolutely seems to me now, like our countries are trying to go to war with Russia.
Of course they are. They are. I mean,
Tobias Elwood is your prime example.
well,
He says we're at war.
well, what did
basically.
he do? He said something the other day. He did stuff the other day as well. But the thing is, we can't be at war because we don't have enough resources to go to war. That's the problem. We don't have the resources to go to war. So they want to talk up this war, and what they want to do is they want to get rid of all their old kit and then put in orders for new kit. So they want to buy new weapons to replace the stuff that they've given away to Ukraine, which is going to get destroyed by the Russians. So basically it's Ukraine's problem how to get rid of all that scrap metal, right? Or Russia's problem if they take over Ukraine. But, you know, what do we hope to achieve? Because we're not going to bring Russia down. Russia's too big. Russia's got too many resources, and Russia's still got industry. That's the thing that we don't have. We don't have industry, right?
Yeah.
So all our industry is offshored, right? I mean, if you wanted to build a ship just now, you've got a choice of that fucking yard in Scotland, right? There might be one left in the Clyde. I think the one in Rosyth is gone. There might be one in Newcastle and one in Plymouth or Portsmouth. But you'd be hard pushed to build a decent ship right now for war purposes. Okay? So where would we scale up? I mean, and you can't scale up in a matter of weeks. It takes months, it takes years to scale up your levels of production to get to the point. And you don't have the people to do it. You don't have the workforce unless you start. Did you import all those migrants to become slaves?
Who knows? Who knows? I don't want a war. I don't want my kids living through a war. It's all completely preventable in my eyes. Peace could have been achieved by now in my eyes. And our leaders, it doesn't matter what country you're in, the leaders don't have the best intentions for you. And when they start this war, when they really do go to war with Russia or China or whoever they're going to go to war with, are they going to go out on the front lines and die? No, they're going to send you. They're going to send your kids. They send your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your mums, your dads. These people do not care about you. You are completely expendable to them, and you will be sent to fight a war for their interests, not yours. Right?
You're right. You're 100%
I
right.
am right.
Yeah,
I am right.
No, you are right. You are right. There's
It's
no.
all leaders of all nations, by the way.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Nobody's a good guy. There's no good guys.
No. Especially when it comes to world leaders, as far as I'm concerned.
And you know what? I'd even go as far to say, even people like Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis and all that, they're probably better than the majority, but they're not necessarily your saviors.
You're absolutely right. And with that, I'm going to move on to one more little subject.
We'll get two subjects to go.
Oh, you've got two subjects. I'm going to chuck something in.
Go on.
Have you heard about Tim Pool?
About Eliza Blue?
Well, no, he's running a poll on Twitter right now. It's got 5 hours left. Should I shut down Timcast and retire? Yes has got 56% and no's got 44%. right? And then he's just quote tweeted it and said, 6 hours left, the yes votes are winning. Is he done?
Has he had enough?
Is he looking for a way out?
Well,
Because
the Eliza Blue stuff has really pissed him off.
It's really pissed him off. Like he's gone after Jeremy from the quartering big time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if has he made a statement finally on Eliza Blue?
Do you remember earlier when we were chatting, I was listening to Tim Pool. And he was talking about it. And he was explaining how that he'd had her on a couple of times and all that, and he got a shitstorm of stuff on it.
Yeah.
And he didn't really think that he was saying anything terribly controversial.
No.
And it seems to be that she has the capability of getting not just Twitter, but YouTube people as well to bend to her will. So your theory might need to be tweaked. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know what's going on, but she does seem to be able to affect censorship.
She seems to have an exorbitant amount of what would you call it? What do you call it? Influence. She seems to have an exorbitant amount of influence, considering who she isn't. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Once again, okay, let's move on from that because one more. Have you got Project Veritas on the list?
I do not. Would you like to introduce it?
So, are you aware of what's happening to James O'Keefe?
No. When did this occur?
So it's been going on for the past few days, right?
Okay.
James O'Keefe has been frozen out of Project Veritas by the board. He's been put on unpaid leave, and they're trying to remove him.
Well, hold on. Is James O'Keefe not Project Veritas?
He is Project Veritas. The board want him gone.
Holy shit. And this is why we will never be a publicly traded company.
Project Veritas isn't a publicly traded company. It's a charity.
We will never have a board.
No.
Right. What the... No way. What the actual... Right, so what's he supposed to have done?
Apparently he's just too hard to work for. He's too hard a boss.
Oh, like Dominic Raab.
Yeah.
This just isn't good enough.
So anyway, their biggest donors, because they're funded by donations completely. Project Veritas are, right? And they ballooned to $22 million a year in donations, I might add.
Right.
But their biggest donors have hired a lawyer and have sent a cease and desist to the board, saying you're actually in breach of. Okay, so I'll read it to you. Dear Project Veritas board members, our firm represents a large group of significant donors to Project Veritas who have grave concerns about the board of directors' reported action to remove founder and CEO James O'Keefe from his leadership position, change the structure of Project Veritas entities and their boards, raising risks for the entity's charitable status, and operate Project Veritas for purposes other than those for which the organization was established. By taking or threatening to take these actions, the board is straying from its roots and expressed purpose for which it raised considerable funds from the public, including our clients. We are concerned that the board may already be acting in violation of Virginia charitable solicitation and trust law, and ask that the board refrain from taking further actions to fundamentally undermine the purposes for which Project Veritas was established. We also ask that the funds donated to Project Veritas be preserved and not spent for purposes not contrary to those for which they were solicited. He was supposed to be removed, so the board have been meeting this afternoon without James to make the final decision on whether or not they were going to remove him.
Yeah.
After their biggest ever story. What is going on?
Well, undue influence?
I would say that they've had some Pfizer cash, maybe.
Had a phone call.
They've had a phone call, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's out of order. I'm surprised. Why is it a charitable organisation though? That's no way to run a business.
I have no idea, but John, we are at the 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. So there's just a couple of things, and one of them's very quickly dealt with, and it's unlike Putin, it appears that Nicola Sturgeon has a reverse gear.
She is reversing on the self-ID, isn't she?
No, what she's saying is anyone who's convicted of a crime will serve their time in the prison that their gender was assigned at birth.
You can't assign a gender at birth.
Well, whatever. But if it's on your, if you're a male on your birth certificate, you're going to a male prison.
And rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, rightfully so. And then, so what's our last... You're closing out the show with Vaughan, aren't you?
Yeah. So some guy has spent $3,400. I don't know who this guy is. And he's made a sex doll. Right?
Right.
Of Greta Thunberg.
I can see why Vaughan's closing out the show.
And it says things like,
How dare you!
while you're having sex with it.
Oh my god!
I can only imagine that would be if you went near the back door.
How dare you!
Oh, Jesus I can see why this is Vaughan's dream. He says glad Shalini's gone.
I hope Selene's sleeping yet. Well, I had to put it in the... I couldn't bring it in early, especially when I saw Shalini was in the fucking chat. I'm like, how the fuck? I can't bring this up early. I'm going to have to put it right to the end.
Oh, shit.
So I take my hat off to you, Vaughn.
And you know what? I take my hat off to all of you. And if you haven't shared, you haven't subscribed, you haven't done all of that, then...
And look, you can see every expression of his little mouth as he moves his muscles in his lips. Due to his high definition camera.
Now also, look into my big, beautiful blue eyes, right?
Pardon me.
Go and find the second channel, which is currently called The Swamp Adventures. Right? Go and subscribe over there, because I am going to do some film reviews over there, and I think if John's got some time, he might as well. Not only that, though, I have a 10 video series coming out mid-March over on that channel, and you can join me as I have a little bit of an adventure. And I would really, really appreciate you coming along with me on this adventure, sharing in this adventure, if you will, and subscribing to the channel over there. Because, you know, we want to get both channels past 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we do.
We want to get both channels.
And then we'll get the OnlyFans up.
Yeah, I promise. I promise, right? I will take pictures.
He will take one for the team.
I'll do it. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what I'll take those pictures of.
Yeah,
But I will take pictures.
Right. So, with that, I'd like to thank every one of you for attending this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the all-in intro so that you can get another look at the movies that you need to identify for the competition. The competition to come and be on All In as co-presenter.
And if you do partake, we do have an hour, so if you would like to join me, you know what this means.
Team Trash. With that, good night. It's been great. For you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to